You're listening to the Curious About Cannabis podcast.
Yeah, it's a pretty common thing now where college is it's an educational program targeted to college students. So colleges, it's pretty common now. They have incoming students coming to campus, and they send out like an online education module on alcohol or on Title IX is a big one, or whatever else health topic, right? So there's a couple products out there for cannabis right now, but I just felt like it was time I wanted to make a product like that, like an online educational program it takes about an hour to complete, that is just really getting into some of these issues we're talking about. As far as students thinking critically about their health and wellness, their social norms and identity development, some on cannabis, obviously on cannabis science and health. There's a section on like the plant. What is this plant? What are cannabinoids? What are these products from the plant? So every section of it has a video that accompanies it. So there's a video, I have a great videographer who lives locally, and we've done a lot of filming and editing and all this stuff. So every section has a video, but there's 7 sections in it. So the hope was to have the demo ready by March. It is late May. It's not ready. So when I say months behind, I'm literally months behind. I'm okay to admit that. It's all right. I've had a lot going on. It's really busy, and so is my partner in crime on this. So I think the demo will be ready in a couple weeks. And from there, I'll get it out to schools. I've had a lot of schools really express interest in it. And I'll get the demo out to schools. They can check it out, run through it. I really encourage them, get it in front of students, see if it resonates with students, and administrators, and then, hopefully sell it to schools. My goal is to really have 20 member schools the first year. I don't really want this to be massive, and then improve on it, iterate, make improvements, shifts, and changes based on the feedback and data I get from those first schools, and then the next year really expand it out. So I think there's a need. I think there's a need for really straightforward, pragmatic education on this topic. And there's just people. I went to a major national conference in January to kind of promote it, and had a table and booth. And I know a lot of the people there because I've presented at that conference like 3 times over the past 10 years and done one of their webinars for them for cannabis education. So there was a lot of interest in it. I got a lot of emails from people that said, right when the demo's ready, send it to me. I want to check it out. So I feel a little bad, like they're waiting, but it's okay. I want it to also be done right, and not rush it. So I'm also in that mindset.
No, I think that's great. If you're going to put out a product like that, you want it to be, even though you want to improve on it over time, you want the first iteration to still be quality, and something that's going to maximize as much value as you can. What are some of the core topics that students going through that would encounter in that hour?
A couple of the main ones. There's an introduction where I do talk about confirmation bias. I also talk about whatever, because it's going to be a national product. So I said, whatever state you're in, this is relevant information for you, regardless of the law and where you live. This is good, important information for you to have understanding around. So that's a major one. And there's a whole section on concentrates and edibles, which is really great. And we give sort of a historical perspective on that during the concentrate section. We talk about different plants when they're in their natural form. And then when you concentrate isolated compounds out of that plant, things change, right? So, morphine from opium, cathinone from cat, et cetera, right? Salvinorin A from salvia plant. We see when we concentrate an isolated compound out of a plant, generally the outcomes are worse. So, you can really relate that to cannabis. And then, then there's a section on social norms and identity. So we talk about national data on college student use and what's really real versus what is the perception of use, and talk about that. And also around who they are, that we're complex beings. We develop it as we develop our identity, and that we shouldn't be limited to one thing. Like, I'm a cannabis user.